Now this is the first video on general prologue to the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. And now we are here reading about Summoner. And there was also a summoner traveling with us, a man who worked as a bailiff in a religious court. He had a fire red face just like a little angel's because he had so many pimples. He was a pretty sketchy guy who scared the little kids because of his scabby black eyebrows and his scraggly beard. There wasn't a medicine or ointment in the world that could get rid of the pimples and the boils on his face. He liked to eat garlic, onions, and licked and drink wine that was as red as the blood. And when he'd get good and good, he'd get good and drunk. He'd go about shouting like crazy in Latin. He really only knew a few words in Latin only because he heard the judges say them day in and day out in the courtroom. He'd repeat them over and over like a parrot. And if anyone challenged him by asking to say something else in Latin, he'd simply repeat the same question over and over. uh, Questio quid juris, which meant, I wonder which law applies in this situation. He was a friendly guy who'd loan his girlfriend to you for a year for a bottle of wine. Probably because he knew he could secretly find another girl on the side. Uh, he had all the ladies of the court wrapped around his little finger, and if he caught another man cheating, he'd tell him not to worry about being punished by the church because all he had to do was pay a bribe. On this subject, though, I know he was lying, and everyone should fear excommunication. He was riding around with a garland on his head to be funny, and he carried around a cake and that he pretended to be his shield. Well, next we read about the summoner and the partner. With the summoner rode a partner from the hospital at Roncesvalles near London, a man who sold official pardons to criminals after hearing their confessions to God. He had eyes that popped out of his head like a rabbit's and a voice that sounded like the bleating of a goat. He didn't have beard either, and I don't think he ever will have one. His face was always as smooth as if he had just shaven. His thin blonde hair was as yellow as wax and hung in straight, uh, stringy, stringy wisps from his head. Just for fun, he kept his hood packed up in his bag, thinking that without it he'd look cooler and more stylish with his hair falling over his shoulders. Instead, he wore only a cap that had a patch sewn on it, showing that he had been to Rome to see the Veil of Saint Veronica with Jesus' face on it. In fact, he'd just come back from Rome, and the bag he carried on his lap was stuffed full of letters of pardon for him to sell. He and the summoner were close friends, and together would belt out rounds of the song "Come Here, My Love," not Not even a trumpet was half as loud as the summoner. I am pretty sure the partner was either a nunch or gay. Still, he was one of the most interesting partners in all of England. He carried a pillowcase in his bag that he claimed contained a bunch of holy objects, including Mary's wheel, a piece of canvas from sails of St. Peter's fishing boat, a crucifix made of brass and jewels, and even a jar of pig bones. He could make more money in a day charging country bumpkins, and the priests to see these relics, and then those priests could earn in 2 months. And so the flattery and deceit he'd, um, he'd make fools out of the country folk and their priests. But to give him credit, he took uh, church going seriously and could read lessons and the stories from the Bible well. And he was best at singing the offertory, offertory song because he knew he had to sing loudly and happily if he wanted people to donate their money. So now I've told you as best as I can everything about the people in our little group, who they were, what they looked like, what they wore, and why we were all together in the Tarbert Inn in the city of Southwark, England. Next, I am going to tell you about what we all did that night. After we checked into the hotel, and after that, I'll tell you about the rest of our pilgrimage to Canterbury. But first, I have to ask for your forgiveness and not to think me vulgar when I tell you what these people said and did. I've got to tell you these things exactly how they happened and repeat these stories word by word as best as I can so that you get the facts. Straight without any of my interpretation, Jesus Christ told it like it is in the scriptures, and that was considered to be vulgar. And the Plato says to the people who can read Greek anyway, that words must match the actions as closely as possible. I also beg your forgiveness if my storytelling changes your perception of the kinds of people on these travelers were. I'm really not that clever, you see. Our host, the owner of the Tamba Inn, welcomed all of us and served us dinner right away. The food was really good and the wine really strong, which we all were grateful for. The host seemed like he was a good enough innkeeper to have even been a butler in some great house. He was 100% man, big and with uh, bulging eyes, bigger than any one of us, any of the merchants in the markets of London. And that is for sure. He spoke in a straightforward manner that conveyed his wisdom and his learning. He was also pretty jolly. And after dinner, he started telling jokes and funny stories. After Boyd paid the bill, of course, and said, Gentlemen, I welcome you from the bottom of my heart to tell you the truth. We haven't had as large a group of people all here who seem as happy as you. I wish I could think of some way to entertain you. And oh, what? Wait, I've thought of something, and best of all, it won't cost you a penny. You are all going to Canterbury, where the martyr Thomas Becket will hear your prayers and bless you. God be with you and to speed you on your way. Well, I figure that she will probably tell stories and whatnot to pass the time during your journey because it would be pretty boring otherwise. I said before that I want to entertain you. So, with your permission, I ask that you listen to what I have to say. And I swear on my father's grave that if you aren't entertained as you ride off to Canterbury tomorrow, you can have my own head. And now hold up your hands and don't say another word. I didn't take long for us to decide and to do as he asked, and we told him to just tell us what to do. Gentlemen, he said, listen carefully and try to understand what I am about to propose. I'll make this short and sweet. I propose that each of you tell us two stories to help pass the time on the way to Canterbury, and then tell two more stories about the olden days on the way back, and and whichever one of you tells the most informative or funny story will get a free dinner paid by the rest of us right here in my hotel when you all get back. And to make sure you enjoy the journey, I'll pay my own way. I will. I pay my own way to go with you and be your guide. I'll also decide who tells the best story, and anyone who questions my judgment can pay the entire cost of the trip for everyone. And let me know if this sounds like a good idea to you, and I'll go get ready. We all loved the idea and promised that we would follow the rules of the bet and asked him to come with us to Canterbury and be the judge of the contest. We all ordered some wine and drank a toast, then immediately went to bed. Our host got up the next morning at dawn and woke all of us up. We set out at a normal walking pace and rode into a stream where a lot of pilgrims on the way to Canterbury stopped for a rest. Our host stopped his horse and said to us, "Gentlemen, your attention, please. Remember our agreement from last night. Well, let us find out who is going to tell the first story. Remember that I'll be the judge, and then anyone who disagrees with me will have to pay the cost of the entire trip for everyone from here on out. Now, let us draw straws before we go any further, and whoever gets the shortest straw will go first. Mr. Knight, my good man, I have decided that you will draw first. So please take a straw. Come on over, Madam Paris, and now you, Mr. Clerk. Come on, don't be shy. Come on, everyone, grab a straw. Everyone drew a straw, and to make a story short, somehow the knight drew the shortest straw. Whether by fate or accident, everyone was relieved that he would be the first to go. And that was that. The good knight, for his part, didn't complain at all, but sucked it up and said, "Looks like it's me, must be God's will. And now let's get going and listen to my story." And with that, we set out on our way to Canterbury. And the knight began his story immediately and said, "This is the end of the general prologue. This is a note. This is the end of this. These are not the words of the knight. So informative note that this is the end of the prologue, and the rest of the part of this Canterbury Tales is the Canterbury Tales in which that is the collection of different stories. Okay, thank you for watching, and if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the like and bell button to get the fresh from us. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Goodbye.